Guys, the AI SaaS disruption is completely unprecedented, but you don't even need to just take my word for it. Listen to what the Bridgewater co-CIOs say. They're claiming that the AI disruption is going to be bigger than the Amazon disruption of Barnes and Nobles, of bookstores. I mean, comparable to Netflix disruption of Blockbuster, which, by the way, Blockbuster, I loved you. You were fun for a time, but I really don't miss going to Blockbuster to look around for a video for an hour because you didn't have the video that I actually wanted. It's kind of nice to just be able to pick whichever video my wife wants to watch for the night and then fall asleep within 5 minutes. Does that ever happen to you, by the way? You're going to watch a movie or show with your girlfriend, you end up you end up agreeing to watch something that they want to watch, and then they immediately fall asleep 5 minutes after and then get upset with you when you change it. Am I the only one? Put it in the comments below if you've experienced that before. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Bridgewater, these are not nobodies, guys. These are the CIOs from the world's largest hedge fund that is founded by Ray Dalio. These guys know what they're talking about. But we got to look at where specifically is this coming from and why is it such a big deal? It's particularly potent in the coding sector. And the Bridgewater executives here say, quote, "With the latest release of Claude Code, an upstart competitor has created existential risk for major businesses, much as Amazon posed for Barnes and Noble." And I gotta say, they're absolutely correct. The ability to write code, the speed with which you can write code is astronomical. It is unbelievable. Not to mention the fact that people that don't write code or haven't written software before can now actually write software and build code. We actually had a workshop a few weeks ago and we were building literal software into our businesses during that workshop. Guys that have never actually written a line of code were creating their own software. It is unbelievable. And just to take that a step further, we covered this in a video a few weeks ago. Snap, you may have heard of Snapchat before. I'll post a link to this video here. Snap is now, they laid off a bunch of coders, I believe it was 1,000. And then they proceeded to say that 65% of the code they're writing is written by AI. Absolutely crazy. And guys, any CTO that I talk to is saying that they are using AI to write code like crazy. And right now it's Claude Code is the big one, but there's going to be other softwares that and AI LLMs that take over. And guys, this is one of the things I think about is are these Edgewater guys just trying to pump up like their experience and their knowledge, and they have the inside track? Yeah, sure, possibly. It's a pretty good marketing stunt. I mean, we've looked at Dario Mode from Anthropic, the creator of Claude, saying things like, we have the best AI in the world. It's so powerful, but we just can't release it to you because it'll destroy the world. It's kind of like, yeah, we've got the goods, so use our software. It's kind of some clever marketing tactic. But the reality is that it's not just speculations. I've shared some examples of companies that are using AI to write code, but the S&P software and services sector is down 16.6% so far this year. And as of March, 25% of the tech layoffs during the month of March were directly attributed to AI. 25%, that is a crazy number to me, because when you look back to 2025, 5% of layoffs were directly attributed to AI in 2025. Now we're going from 5% to 25% in 1 month. That to me is a pretty shocking number and something we need to pay attention to. Now, again, we need to face the facts here. You can't just trust everything that you get from AI as being high quality. And I do think that if you're an engineer with experience and you really know what you're doing, I think that if you have the right mindset, this could be a very, very opportunistic time for you. Let me explain why. Because now we're in this world where non-coders are able to create really amazing, quick software. We're able to create these minimum viable products very, very rapidly. And again, as I mentioned before, AI written code is not perfect. It's going to have flaws. It's going to have some hallucinations. There's going to be issues like database schema are not always going to be on point. Things like API and MCP calls may work at first, but then they get broken as you continue to iterate and add on to your software. And let's face it, AI coding is going to get better. It's going to get better and better and better. And what's going to happen is more and more and more organizations, not just organizations, but side hustlers, solopreneurs, startups, students, even employees are going to be building their own software. Again, it's already happening. I covered this in a video a few days ago. I'll post a link to it here. But if you're a salesperson right now and you're not using AI to write proposals to customers and clients, if you're not using AI to create delight in your presentations or in interactive proposals, you're kind of missing the mark right now. You can do some really, really cool stuff without much work at all. Right? So anyways, let me get back to where I think the engineers and the programmers, developers have like a unique opportunity here, because the reality is I think that we are perhaps or probably entering into the golden age of software development. And again, this is a potential golden opportunity for software developers to assist small and medium-sized businesses as they build out their own software. Because again, as these companies and small to medium-sized businesses start building out software and they inevitably run into problems, who are they going to call? They're going to call the guys that know how to fix it. And if you're a software engineer, that could certainly be you. And again, I think this is a really important time. I think everybody right now should be building out additional streams of income, because the workforce, whether you're a business owner, you want to build additional streams, whether you're an employee, you want to build up additional streams, because the reality is we just have no idea exactly where all this AI innovation is going to go. So if you're an engineer, you should have some sort of side profile, side income. You should be growing your LinkedIn network. You should be growing your business profile across social accounts and building up your brand equity and building up your relationships. Why? Because if you get canned or if you run into a problem with your business, okay, you at least have something to lean on so you can build up and restructure. Because again, if you're one of the tens of thousands of people that are being laid off from these tech companies, hundreds of thousands in fact, what you could potentially do is jump on and build your own small business consulting agency to help all the small business owners that are building code and get lost in building software. But here's the thing, guys, this is not even necessarily just limited to the negatives in the coding. It's not all negative. I was reading an article in Reuters that Johnson & Johnson announced that they are using AI to slash their drug development in half. Quote from CIO Jim Swanson, quote, "We've cut our lead optimization time in half." He continues, "We're trying to cure cancer. We need every tool that we can leverage to be able to do that." And again, by the way, love the idea. Let's cure cancer. And maybe AI is the way to get there. We've kind of heard that before. This is kind of like that North Star for everyone. Like, we're going to cure cancer and AI is going to be able to do it. And maybe it is. Maybe you need to get with the Bridgewater guys in order to find the best deals on investments, right? Again, a lot of people are just putting a lot of speculation and claiming to be the experts in AI. And by the way, I'm not going to claim to be the expert. I'm going to be a guy who's using and learning and connecting and, again, reporting on what's happening, because I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be left behind. I see some of the guys in the comments saying things like, "Well, I hope AI takes all the jobs because I hate to work." Dude, you do not want to be reliant on government subsidies and UBI. I do not want to be that dude. I want to be relevant, respected, and financially free. And if you've been subbed to this channel, that's probably you as well. I mean, I just remember back when, just a couple of months ago, when people on food SNAP benefits here in the United States were like, "I can't get food anymore because there's a government shutdown." If you don't have any way of developing income because you're too reliant on the government, who's to say when that goes bad? It's not good. It's not good, especially, again, if you've got a family and people that rely on you. Anyway, some say AI will get, I want to kind of lean into this a little bit more, because some people I hear saying that AI is going to get so good. We're not going to have any jobs. No one's going to work. There's not going to be anything to do. It's going to replace all human work. But I'm not completely convinced about that. Sure, there is a reality where that could happen. There's a lot of like dystopian futures we could walk into. But what I think is likely to happen, just based on my experience up to this point and how AI is working out, it requires the human touch. It requires the human to review the work, to authenticate, to clean it up. Humans do not like speaking with robots. Humans prefer humans. And I think that we might, I don't know that we're ever going to get to that place where AGI is so good that it replaces all humans. I don't know that we're going to get there. But I do think that guys like us who are using AI to be more efficient, to build quickly, are going to be at a huge advantage. And as and I can't emphasize this enough. Like, I'm at a point in my professional career where there's projects I haven't been able to get into in the past, but now, due to the resources that I have, and the connections I've made through the channel and through my podcasting career, through LinkedIn connections and networking and going to conferences. I was just in DC last week. I met dozens and dozens of small business owners through the Meta Small Business Leaders Network. Having access to all these people and this wisdom, and then combining that with AI, is allowing me to do things that I never thought were possible. And to me, it's actually just a very exciting time. One more thought here before I let you go, guys. All this tech disruption is really interesting to me. We're going to the SaaS apocalypse. What it seems like might be happening is there's bargain barrel deals on SaaS, and this is not financial advice. You should do your own research, but you should also be aware that with this SaaS apocalypse, there's probably going to be some sick deals. And we look at companies like Salesforce as an example, which at its peak was trading at 25 times revenue. Now it's trading at about 7 times revenue. Is Salesforce going to die? Is this a proper correction? Is it going to go back up? What's going to happen? Is Benioff going to start acquiring a bunch of smaller companies and implementing them? Like, is Agentforce going to be the big differentiator? I don't know. We'll see. But that's just one example. From 25x to 7x. Zoom went from 40x trading at a 40x revenue multiple to 7x. DocuSign from 30x to 6x. So we're seeing these companies that were trading at massive multiples coming down to sub 10x. Now, where's this all going to fall? Unclear. But there's a bunch of companies like that, and I think that's interesting. So anyway, what do you think? Where do you think the biggest opportunities are? How do you plan to really leverage this unique time in human history? Put in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, you can smash like, smash subscribe, all that good stuff. And I would encourage you to check out yesterday's video where we talk about what's happening at Microsoft. Microsoft just announced they are voluntarily retiring 7% of their US workforce. Why? You gotta watch the video to find out. Go check it out here, boys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.